Welcome to Concrete Block, the podcast where we dive into the latest news and current events shaping our world. I'm your host, Walter. Today, we're going to tackle a developing story that's been making headlines around the globe: the escalating tensions between the United States and Iran. As we speak, the U.S. has been amassing military forces in the Middle East, sparking fears of a potential conflict with Iran. The situation took a turn for the worse when President Donald Trump issued an ultimatum to Tehran, giving them 10 to 15 days to come to a deal or face really bad things. This statement has raised concerns that a military strike could be imminent. Iran's foreign minister has responded by saying that a military option would only complicate efforts to reach a diplomatic solution. He also announced that Iran is working on a counterproposal, which could be ready within the next few days. The International Atomic Energy Agency's board is scheduled to meet in Vienna on March 2nd to discuss Iran's nuclear program, and diplomats are expected to weigh a new resolution of censure. The stakes are high, with some experts warning that a conflict between the U.S. and Iran could have far-reaching consequences for global stability and security. As we continue to monitor this situation, it's essential to consider the complexities and nuances at play. We'll be keeping a close eye on developments and providing updates as more information becomes available. We'll be right back with more of today's top news on Concrete Block. Welcome back to Concrete Block. We're diving into a fascinating tale that's got everyone talking: the rise of Latin identity among Brazilians, sparked by none other than the global sensation Bad Bunny. This Puerto Rican superstar has been making waves not just with his music, but with his unapologetic celebration of Latin American culture. Now, it's interesting to note that Brazilians have historically identified themselves primarily as, well, Brazilian rather than Latin American. But with Bad Bunny's meteoric rise, we're seeing a shift in this narrative. His Super Bowl performance, where he name-checked almost every country in Latin America and the Caribbean, seemed to strike a chord with many Brazilians. We spoke to DJ Rafael Tacano, who hosts Latin music parties in Sao Paulo, and he told us that demand has never been higher. He believes Bad Bunny's message and aesthetic have made it easier for Brazilians to see themselves as part of a broader Latin American community. And it's not just the music, it's about the cultural weight and recognition that comes with it. Of course, some might argue that this is just a fleeting phenomenon, a result of Bad Bunny's immense popularity rather than a genuine shift in identity. But others, like researcher Tiago Suarez, suggest that there's something more profound at play. He sees Bad Bunny's success as part of a larger anti-American agenda of emancipation, one that resonates with Brazilians who feel their country is being unfairly targeted by U.S. policies. Whatever the reason, it's clear that Bad Bunny has tapped into something significant. His concerts in Sao Paulo are selling out, and fans are eager to connect with his music and message. As we explore this story further, we have to ask, what does this mean for the future of Latin American identity, and how will it shape the cultural landscape of Brazil and beyond? Welcome back to Concrete Block. As we wrap up today's show, we're going to dive into a complex and sensitive topic that's been unfolding in the Middle East. The situation at al-Aqfsa Mosque in Jerusalem has been escalating, with tensions rising between Israeli security forces and Muslim worshippers. To give you some context, the mosque is a sacred site for Muslims, and its management is governed by a status quo agreement between Israel and Jordan. However, recent events have seen an increase in unilateral changes to this agreement, with far-right Israelis taking up key security positions and pushing for greater access to the site. The National Security Minister, Itamar Ben-Gvir, has been at the forefront of these efforts, making inflammatory visits to the mosque and backing changes that allow Jews to pray and sing in the compound. This has led to a breakdown in the status quo, with the Jerusalem Waqf, the Jordanian-appointed foundation responsible for managing the site, facing increasing pressure. According to reports, Waqf staff have been detained, banned from entering the site, and even prevented from performing basic maintenance tasks. The cumulative effect has been to strain the Waqf's ability to cater to the thousands of Muslims expected to visit the mosque during Ramadan. Experts warn that this situation is particularly volatile, with a confluence of factors on both the Israeli and Palestinian sides that could incentivize Temple Mount activists to push for further changes. As Amjad Iraqi, a senior Israel-Palestine analyst at the International Crisis Group notes, there are so many ingredients that make this Ramadan especially dangerous. It's essential to approach this topic with nuance and understanding, recognizing the deep-seated emotions and historical complexities involved. As we strive to provide balanced coverage, we must acknowledge the concerns of all parties involved and encourage constructive dialogue. As we close out today's show, we urge our listeners to stay informed about this developing situation and to seek out diverse perspectives on this complex issue. Remember that knowledge is power, and by engaging with different viewpoints, we can work towards a deeper understanding of the world around us. That's all for today's Concrete Block. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, stay informed.